If vanilla means boring to you, you should probably try some better ice cream. Toss out whatever bland stuff is sitting in your freezer and try some of the options at the top of this list. Friendly's is an East Coast restaurant chain with locations concentrated in New England. The restaurant serves American comfort food classics, burgers, and most famously, ice cream sundaes. They serve so many ice cream sundaes that they created their own line of Friendly's ice creams, which are also sold in grocery stores regionally. There are even more flavors available in stores than on the restaurant menu. We bought a 1.5-quart container of the rich and creamy vanilla flavor, and we couldn't see what all of the fuss is about. The Friendly's vanilla ice cream doesn't actually contain any vanilla. The ingredients lists, quote, natural flavors, which probably accounts for what little flavor it actually has, but it really just tastes like sweet cold marshmallows. The ice cream uses stabilizers instead of eggs to keep it from melting too quickly or becoming icy, which isn't inherently a bad thing. But in this case, the stabilizers coat the inside of your mouth instead of comfortably melting on the tongue. The 2/3 of a cup serving size, a common serving size across almost all brands we sampled, weighs just 88 grams per serving, which is low and means you're buying a lot of air. On the upside, since you're mostly buying air, there are only 180 calories per serving. The 1.5-quart package is also one of the least expensive on the market, often costing less than $3, which is certainly a deal, but in this case, you're getting what you pay for.
You know what? It's easy to fix. I can help you with that.
What do you know about fixing ice cream machines, Higgins?
I went to DeVry for a year.
Oh, that's right.
I can fix anything with a plug.
Edie's has been around for nearly 100 years, so there's a good chance you've probably had a few scoops of it at some point. You may know it by the Dreyer's name, the original ice cream maker of the Dreyer-Edie duo. But since 1928, the names have been interchangeable. The brand has pioneered some of our favorite flavors, including Rocky Road and cookies and cream. So we were looking forward to giving the vanilla a try. The texture of the ice cream is smooth and milky and melts a little nicer in the mouth than the Friendly's vanilla ice cream. But it was still overly fluffy and lacked that bold vanilla flavor that we're looking for. The Edie's vanilla ice cream weighs just 85 grams per 2/3 of a cup serving, which is still pretty low and indicates a good deal of air. That slight difference makes a single serving only 140 calories, but doesn't lower the price of the ice cream. You can hardly walk into a convenience store in Pennsylvania without coming across Turkey Hill ice cream or bottled teas. They're a local brand since 1931 that's grown into a national company with products sold from coast to coast. A quart and a half of Turkey Hill vanilla ice cream cost us just a little less than the Edie's Dryers we'd tasted previously, and has roughly the same weight per serving and nutritional value. But we thought the flavor was a step up from what we'd tried so far. The ice cream softens up pretty quickly when you remove it from the freezer, so you won't have to wait long for a scoop when the craving hits. While the vanilla still isn't very strong, the dairy has a nice flavor to it, even a bit toasty, which we liked. This ice cream is ideal for serving a large crowd at a kid's birthday party, or for making a lot of milkshakes where you're probably going to add another flavor. But ultimately, just like the ice creams before it, if you're missing real vanilla and eggs in the ice cream, you're basically just getting a container of sweetened, stabilized, and frozen whipped cream. Ah, Halo Top, the answer to our comfort food sugar cravings without sacrificing our diet goals. Halo Top has designed a large selection of ice creams and popsicles built specifically with dietary needs in mind, including low-calorie, non-dairy, and keto-friendly options. We didn't really know what to expect when tasting the vanilla bean ice cream from Halo Top, given the very specific idea we have about what makes a good vanilla ice cream. But we were pleasantly surprised. Part of the decision to choose Halo Top includes managing your expectations about what it's reasonably going to taste like. We were looking for a real vanilla taste, at least a hint of milkiness, and no fake chemical flavors. With those standards in mind, Halo Top's vanilla bean ice cream met all of our expectations. And at roughly 280 calories per tub, there's zero guilt in eating as much as you want, where other ice creams will run you over 200 calories for only 2/3 of a cup. With that said, this isn't a perfect ice cream. It's milky but not creamy. It contains egg yolks, which contribute to the flavor, structure, and nutritional value of the ice cream, and real chunks of vanilla bean. It seems more like skim milk being held together with enough stabilizers to keep it from turning into a giant milk ice cube. Even with that said, we'd take a bite of this vanilla bean ice cream over the flavorless over-churned options. And between cookies? Yes please. We think that if there were ever an ice cream to skate the true middle ground between industrially produced, nostalgically comforting, and good quality, it's the Breyers Natural Vanilla Ice Cream. We were also thrilled to see that it's available by the pint, as well as 1.5 and 2-quart sizes. The pint cost less than $3 before taxes, which we thought was a great deal. And in a side-by-side taste test with the next ice cream on our list, it was difficult to say which one was the better option. Ultimately, the Breyers scored just a little bit lower because it doesn't claim to contain any actual vanilla, vanilla, only natural flavor. Strangely enough, there are flecks that resemble vanilla beans in the ice cream, so we're going to give Breyers the benefit of the doubt and assume that the quote natural flavor means vanilla bean, but we just can't say for sure. What sets this ice cream above the competition is not the weight by volume or calories per serving, which is the same as its previous competitors, but the texture of the ice cream. It isn't stabilized with eggs, but a single vegetable gum. It's a risky move for an ice cream maker to use only one stabilizer, but this one keeps the ice cream smooth without getting icy and holds the aeration of the ice cream nicely. Additionally, the ice cream melts in your mouth without lingering too long, which is a big plus.
Cheers.
Cheers.
How good is that?
You can taste it.
Taste it. It's like my tongue at a baby with a sunrise.
You may or may not have heard of Blue Bunny, although it's the 8th best-selling ice cream brand in the US, according to Statista, beating out high-end competitors like Talenti and Tillamook. We could only find it in one of the 8 grocery stores we went to in search of ice cream, but we were pleased when we did. Owned by the Wells brand and based in Lamars, Iowa, they've been making ice cream for nearly 100 years. While Blue Bunny offers several different styles of vanilla ice cream, we were able to pick up a container of vanilla bean for our taste test. This ice cream is definitely a little bit higher quality than some of the other large brands. You can instantly tell by looking at the serving size, which packs a slightly higher weight per serving, and the ingredient list. It's about as simple as an ice cream ingredient list gets, with milk, cream, sugar, egg yolks, natural flavors, vanilla extract specifically, and vanilla beans. You can't deny the convenience that Whole Foods brings to eating organically, and many people find the 365 store brand to be comparable to some of the more expensive name brand organic foods available. A pint of the organic vanilla bean ice cream from Whole Foods cost us a couple of dollars less than some of the big name high-end pints, which we liked, but other than being organic, most of the ingredients listed were similar to the ice creams we've tried up to this point, with the exception of vanilla extract and organic vanilla bean, which is clearly included in the ingredients. It's even clear to see the flecks of vanilla bean seeds in the ice cream. While it's not egg-based, the 365 ice cream has a little more body to it than some of the other ice creams. This is the point in our rankings where we really start to see the quality of ice creams take off and unique flavors emerge to set the competitors apart. Talenti is a relatively new brand, having launched in 2003 as one of the first widely available artisanal gelato brands in US grocery stores. Gelato is an Italian-style ice cream that uses more milk and less cream than traditional European and American ice creams, as well as less air in the churning process. It's known for being rich, dense, and creamy, all traits that Talenti exemplifies. The Madagascan vanilla bean gelato is on the sweeter side, but the vanilla flavor is obvious and welcoming. Interestingly, this gelato does not include eggs, but the texture doesn't suffer because of it. It also weighs a hefty 129 grams per 2/3 of a cup serving, which will run you 260 calories. While we're here for the flavor, we'll admit that this treat may be pushing it for some people. You undoubtedly already know Ben & Jerry's, but most likely for one of the iconic flavor combinations the Vermont-based company produces. Cherry Garcia and Half-Baked are just 2 of the dozens of unique flavors Ben & Jerry's makes, but they also make vanilla. All of the fanfare and spectacle is stripped away for this ice cream, with just one delicate flavor to make or break it. On the spectrum of vanilla intensity, we'd consider this vanilla ice cream to be clean and crisp with moderate intensity. For once, it seems like Ben & Jerry's isn't trying to overwhelm us with a particular flavor. The ice cream is milky with a nice custard flavor, but doesn't melt immediately in the mouth. Instead, it coats the mouth a little bit, which we can only attribute to the addition of stabilizers. It's certainly better than most of the cheaper ice creams we tasted. Since 2008, Van Leeuwen has rapidly expanded from an ice cream truck driving around NYC to a company that now ships and sells ice cream nationwide, with ice cream shops on both coasts and many places in between. You may have even heard about the new Kraft macaroni and cheese ice cream they're creating. Van Leeuwen also has a wide selection of non-dairy and vegan ice creams available, so we were curious how the Van Leeuwen vanilla ice cream would set itself apart from the competition, and we had our answer from the very first taste. The ice cream is billed as, quote, French ice cream, and on the side of the container, they explain what that means. The container reads, eggs, plenty of them. Turns out when you use twice as many egg yolks as standard ice cream, you have to call it French ice cream. It's rich, it's thick, it's indulgent. As a matter of fact, a 2/3 of a cup serving will run you a whopping 290 calories. Instead of Madagascan vanilla beans, Van Leeuwen also claims to use Tahitian vanilla beans, which many vanilla enthusiasts consider a better bean for cold and frozen desserts, since it's got a more delicate and floral flavor profile, which can be lost in warm and more complex desserts, according to Nielsen Massey. Technically, Stonyfield Organic doesn't make ice cream, it makes frozen yogurts. But we're including the vanilla for a few reasons. It's widely available in many grocery stores across the country, it's still classically dairy-based, and it's one of the few frozen yogurt brands easily accessible in pints instead of going to a froyo shop. And it tastes great. As a matter of fact, it tastes so good that you'll be tempted to set up a frozen yogurt dessert bar in your own kitchen, with as many toppings as you can lay your hands on without the shock of how much your cup weighs when you get to the checkout like you would in a froyo shop. It's also got a lovely texture and taste, which isn't really a surprise when you look at the ingredients. It's got the same lineup of ingredients that other ice creams have, but organic. One of our testers even said that it reminded them of eating frozen yogurt at TCBY growing up and wanted to cover the whole thing with rainbow sprinkles, gummy bears, and worms, totally optional. We also like that this frozen yogurt has the weight per 2/3 of a cup serving of higher quality ice cream, but the low 170 calories per serving of ice cream with more air in it. With all of that said, we realize that frozen yogurt isn't for everyone, and you may be looking for more neutral ice cream without the taste of those yogurt cultures.
Now, if you need an extra shirt or anything, they're gonna be in there because these seem to shrink. Okay, you know what, girl? I can't get enough of this stuff.
While Haagen-Dazs is considered a premium ice cream brand, it's not exclusive or hard to find. It can be found everywhere from gas stations and corner stores to grocery stores and specialty food shops, and it's popular for a reason. The vanilla ice cream has an incredibly straightforward ingredient list, including cream, milk, sugar, egg yolks, and vanilla extract. It doesn't get more essential than that. The flavor is rich and creamy, with a beautiful milky flavor that doesn't taste watered down or overly sweetened. The only downside is that the 2/3 of a cup serving size will run you about 320 calories according to the nutrition label. Keep in mind that this is a premium ice cream that hasn't been pumped full of air, so 2/3 of a cup weighs in at 129 grams, which is about 50% more actual product than some of the ice creams at the bottom of this list. We like that this ice cream is so easy to find, reliably made with high-quality ingredients, and even an average price among higher-end pints. The vanilla flavor is clearly there, but delicate and balanced for people who don't want to be bombarded with the sweet perfume of a lot of vanilla. It's at this point in our rankings that the ice creams are starting to ramp up, both in vanilla flavor and quality of the ice cream. If you're in the market for an ice cream produced with authentic ingredients at high standards that's still light as a cloud on the tongue and packed with a smooth vanilla flavor, Tillamook Old Fashioned Vanilla Ice Cream is going to take you where you want to go. You don't have to sacrifice quality for the overly aerated milk marshmallow-style ice cream from some of the other industrial producers, but just know that it's going to come with a little bit of a price tag, as Tillamook sometimes costs a little more than its competitors. Tillamook ice cream is also primarily sold in 48-ounce tubs, so you're going to be committing to a larger container than a 16-ounce pint, but we don't think you're going to regret having a little more of this ice cream around. Bluebell is arguably one of the best ice creams made in the US today, although you have to live or travel through one of the only 22 states it's available in to try it. There are a few different vanilla ice cream flavors in the Bluebell lineup, but the uncontested favorite is the homemade vanilla. Reminiscent of hand-cranked ice cream that your grandparents probably made in their backyard, the homemade vanilla ice cream is milky and crisp, with a moderate vanilla flavor and heaps of nostalgia. The ice cream company is based in Brenham, Texas, and handles everything from the ice cream production to direct delivery to stores, which is why you won't be able to find it in New York or California. With that said, you can order the ice cream online if you're interested in bulk buying. While we adore this vanilla ice cream, it loses points for not being as widely available as other brands. You may not be familiar with McConnell's ice cream, but when you do come across it, we recommend giving it a taste. The ice cream makers have been churning ice cream in Santa Barbara, California for 70 years, and now ship ice cream all over the US to grocery stores and homes alike. Without ever having tasted McConnell's ice cream before, we picked up a pint of the vanilla bean ice cream. The vanilla flavor is nice and bold in this ice cream. The texture is smooth and creamy without being overly fluffy, although it was a little on the sweeter side for our tastes. So we tossed a few scoops of the vanilla ice cream into a blender with some milk and made a vanilla milkshake, which came out perfect. If you're in the market for bold vanilla ice cream, look no further than Graeter's Madagascar Vanilla Bean Ice Cream. With the very first bite, we were blown away by how much vanilla they packed into this pint. Even Bobby Flay is a fan. One of the oldest ice cream producers on this list, Graeter's has been making ice cream since 1870 and has remained a family business ever since. There's so much vanilla in this ice cream that it might actually be too much for some people. And that's alright, because there are a lot of great ice creams to choose from on this list. But for a real vanilla lover who relishes in the sweet, sweet, floral, and deeply fragrant notes of high-quality vanilla. It doesn't get better than Grater's. The ice cream itself is noticeably sweet, accented by the heavy vanilla, but also soft and creamy. According to the website, the ice cream is still handcrafted in small batch 2.5-gallon French pots, a method that most producers don't use since ice cream can't be made in large volumes quickly. This ice cream is a little more difficult to find, but we were able to lay our hands on it at Whole Foods, and it's also available to order through Grater's website.
Let's say that you've got a brand spanking new carton of ice cream in your freezer, and by some miracle, you don't actually polish the entire thing off in one sitting. Stranger things have happened, right? So you stick it back in the freezer, and to your utter disappointment, the next time you peel the lid off that carton, you're faced with an unappealing layer of ice crystals. Where did you go wrong?
Look under the protective ice.
The protective ice? You've actually named the clear, hard crap that sits on the top?
Surprisingly enough, there's a right way to store your ice cream to prevent freezer burn. And you're probably not doing it. And no, gobbling up the entire carton at once isn't the solution, as good as it may taste. Like anything you throw into the freezer, you likely put that carton of ice cream in right side up. That's the logical thing to do after all, but that's precisely the point at which things start to go wrong. That's because during the time that the ice cream is spent out of the freezer, it starts to melt. The top of the container becomes the most melty since it's the most exposed to air, and that top layer of melted ice cream equals freezer burn once it's spent some time back in the freezer. Why does that happen? Real Simple has the answer. It's because when the evaporated water in the melty ice cream refreezes, it forms those undesirable ice crystals. And when it does so in a carton of right side up ice cream, that top layer becomes freezer burned. Now, freezer burned food is perfectly safe to eat, but it definitely doesn't taste as good.
Oh my God almighty. Phooey.
That's why, to circumvent freezer burn, you need to turn those pints of ice cream upside down. By storing the cartons upside down in the freezer, you allow any melty ice cream to drip down onto the lid where it can refreeze into ice crystals till the cows come home, without affecting the taste and texture of your frozen dessert. Genius, right? Next time you're in the mood for ice cream, either scrape the lid clean or ignore it. The unadulterated ice cream in the carton is all you care about anyway. Storage position aside, you also want to make sure you're mitigating the time the ice cream is out of the freezer. The kitchen recommends that rather than eating from the carton, you take a scoop and get that thing back into the deep freeze for the ice cream's sake. The less time it has to warm up, the less time it has to melt. And less melting means less freezer burn in the long run. It's also important to check that your freezer's temperature is at or below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, as proper freezing is essential to preventing the dreaded burn. If you're not buying the upside-down storage trick, there is one more thing you can do to prevent freezer burn on your half-eaten ice cream. Place plastic wrap or wax paper against it, not across the rim of the carton, but directly onto the ice cream itself, to prevent air from evaporating the moisture inside. And if you're transferring homemade ice cream from machine to storage container, Serious Eats suggests you use the smallest vessel possible, because a quicker freeze staves off the formation of those evil ice crystals. The upside-down container trick works for natural peanut butter too. You know the mess you typically make trying to stir the oil that floats to the top of the nut butter? That's a thing of the past when you flip the jar upside down and let gravity do the work for you. Your natural peanut butter will be ready to spread on a PB&J at a moment's notice. Who knew the solution to so many of life's annoyances was simply turning a container upside down? Your ice cream game and your natural peanut butter game has never been more on point. You're welcome.
Ice cream sandwiches have come a long way since they were first invented in 1899. But when the craving strikes, simple is best. Sure, there's lots of choices out there, but not all were created equal. So which of these old-school treats takes the cake? First of all, wrong shape. You had one job to do, which was come in the shape of a rectangle, and you can't even do that. Skinny cow, you're fired. Skinny cow variety isn't even that skinny at 160 calories a pop, and for that, you get low-fat vanilla ice cream that's sandwiched between two rather bland-tasting chocolate cookies. These just aren't satisfying. They don't taste like a treat. They taste like diet food. Just eat some fruit for breakfast and have a real ice cream sandwich when you want one, instead of one of these sad skinny cow imitations. One pro of these little guys is that they are both dairy-free and vegan. The con? They taste like it. At least that's the opinion if you are used to eating real ice cream. First off, it's awesome that those with milk allergies or sensitivities can enjoy the frozen almond milk treat. But if you have neither of these issues, you'll probably be pretty disappointed in the flavor and mouthfeel of the ice cream, as this stuff is hard and even tends to accumulate unappealing ice particles on it. The texture and the flavor of the cookie is majorly lacking too. It would be a long, cruel summer if these were your only choice. Julie's organic ice cream sandwiches are a bit pricey. They're sold at Whole Foods, so what did you expect? The good news is that they contain all natural ingredients, no high fructose corn syrup, and are made with hormone and antibiotic-free milk. So that would mean they would be the most delicious summer treat you could sink your teeth into, right? Wrong. These are bad. They're too sugary, too thick, and not only is the cookie mushy, but there's a grittiness to this that's just disturbing. Ice cream treats should never be gritty or leave you regretting your life choices. The price will vary by location, but at around $7 a box, you'd expect a lot more from your dessert. What would you do for a Klondike bar? It better be a lot more than you would do for one of these ice cream sandwiches, because these are pretty lame. Starting with the fact they're square, and as we've established, anything but a rectangle automatically gets points deducted. One big pro about these is that they clock in at 180 calories, which is barely higher than the Skinny Cow ice cream sandwiches, and they're much, much better than those. That's not saying too much. The cookie is vaguely salty, and the texture of it is so soft that it gets all over your fingers in a mealy, chocolatey mess. The ice cream, well, it doesn't actually taste like ice cream. It's airy and whipped, so it stays very soft too, making for a big, mushy disaster. The first thing you'll notice about the Blue Bunny ice cream sandwiches is that they are more square than rectangular, and you are getting a very large ice cream to cookie ratio. And the ice cream basically tastes like sugary foam. Once again, these sandwiches suffer from the Klondike disease of having ice cream that doesn't taste quite like ice cream and doesn't feel like ice cream in your mouth. This probably has to do with the fact that the reduced fat ice cream contains cellulose gum, which is a thickening agent used in foods to give them a thicker and creamier texture. Disappointingly, the cookie is rather bland and mushy too, with no discernible chocolate flavor. It's hard to believe that the Blue Bunny brand wouldn't taste better, considering they've created some of the most delicious ice cream flavors ever, and that plain old ice cream totally owns whatever these bad ice cream sandwiches are. There are many pros to Walmart's Great Value ice cream sandwiches. They are the correct size you'd want an ice cream sandwich to be. The ice cream tastes great with only a slight airiness about it and a good clean vanilla flavor. The cookie is delicious, not too thick, not too thin, and there's a definite taste of chocolate that will happily remind you of Oreo cookies. The biggest con? These sandwiches obviously come from the depths of hell because they just don't melt in the sun. The reason for this stability comes from calcium sulfate and guar gum that together trap moisture and stabilize the ice cream. Long story short, there's really nothing to fear here in spite of what you may have heard on the internet, but that doesn't make them taste any better. These Target brand Market Pantry treats have a great ice cream to cookie ratio. They contain the same stabilizers like cellulose gum and guar gum that helps other ice cream sandwiches retain their nice rectangular shape, but you don't really taste it. The cookie is borderline crisp, but it immediately gives way when you bite into it and turns into that soft cookie crust you associate with a great ice cream sandwich. And that all makes it just a great ice cream sandwich.
It's never too early for ice cream, Jim. But we didn't have any ice cream. So this is mayonnaise and black olives.
What these babies lack in size, they make up for in taste. Sadly, or happily, depending on how you look at it, you may want to eat the entire box. They are that good. All natural ingredients, organically certified, and they taste like an ice cream sandwich should taste. They have yummy vanilla ice cream that tastes like actual ice cream with no foamy mouthfeel, sandwiched between two chocolatey wafers that will take you right back to playing ghosts in the graveyard on a warm summer night until your parents holler for you to come home. This is it. If you aren't worried about a product being all natural or organic, then Nestle has the ice cream sandwich for you. The ice cream to cookie ratio is perfect. The ice cream tastes like wholesome vanilla ice cream. The cookie has enough structure to hold the ice cream in, but it's not too brittle or crunchy. It's an all-around winner. These are the ice cream sandwiches you remember from the ice cream truck. They are simple, and that's what makes them so good and so happily reminiscent of childhood. It doesn't get much better than that.
A fast food ice cream cone will always hit the spot, but they're definitely not all the same. There's a lot of variance in what you'll get handed through that drive-thru window, so let's talk about the best and worst places to go when the ice cream craving hits. Sonic Drive-In has a lot of amazing dessert options, and if you go there just for the desserts, well, no one would blame you. However, their vanilla cone isn't one of the choices you should be making. In fact, this is the worst ice cream cone that you can find in the fast food universe. First of all, the ice cream isn't memorable, particularly because the vanilla flavor is supremely lackluster. Second of all, the cone is really unenjoyable. It's harder to bite into than other cones, and once it's in your mouth, the experience just gets worse and worse. As you chew it, the grittiness is annoying. It's as if you are trying to eat sand. After you finally swallow the cone, a chalk-like substance remains in your mouth. When you're in the market for an ice cream cone, don't even consider going to Sonic. If you're already at Sonic, pick anything else from their ice cream menu and you will be happier. If you buy a Whopper at Burger King, you will most likely be thrilled with your selection. It's a flavorful and filling burger. However, if you're purchasing a dessert from Burger King, you need to be careful. Not only do they have terrible milkshakes, their vanilla cone isn't much better. Unlike Sonic's disaster, the problem isn't with the cone at Burger King. The issue is the ice cream. On your first lick, you'll instantly know something is amiss. This ice cream has no creaminess and a very limited amount of sweetness. It basically tastes like watered-down milk. To make matters even worse, the texture of the ice cream leaves a lot to be desired. It's so icy that you almost need to chew it. It's tough to ruin ice cream, but this cone does exactly that.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
Jollibee is a fast food chain that was born in the Philippines and is now taking the world by storm. It's been in the United States since 1988. In America, they are most famous for their scrumptious fried chicken. While not available at each of their locations around the globe, if you look hard enough, you can find their chocolate twirl. But honestly, don't worry about looking too hard for it because it's not worth the effort at all. This dessert consists of vanilla soft serve ice cream in a cone that is then dipped in chocolate. While it sounds good and looks good, it doesn't taste good. The chocolate is what ruins the party. It's actually so sweet that all the chocolatey goodness is lost. The chocolate also has a chemical aftertaste that overshadows the ice cream and the cone. The vanilla cone from McDonald's is a pretty standard dessert choice. Seemingly, every American has had one at some point in their life. That said, there are very few die-hard fans who religiously go to McDonald's when the craving for a fast food ice cream cone strikes. Why is that? It's because McDonald's vanilla cone is so boring. It's not bad, mind you, but you very well could fall asleep while you're eating it. The vanilla soft serve is nothing worth writing home about. The cone is easy to chew, but any flavor it possesses is minimal. It's not quite like eating cardboard, but it's close. By the time you're done with this ice cream cone, you'll be underwhelmed by the ordeal. Sure, the vanilla cone is inexpensive, but it also tastes cheap, which is a problem. McDonald's also loses points due to the unreliability of their ice cream machines. Even if you want this treat, there's a good chance that the machine will be down. More than 100 years ago, A&W started life as a roadside stand selling root beer. These days, they're still known for their root beer, and they also deserve serious kudos for being the inventor of the bacon cheeseburger. What they're not known for is their signature soft serve, which is what they call their vanilla soft serve in a cone. This A&W dessert is very similar to McDonald's vanilla cone. The soft serve is a little bit tastier, and the texture of the cone is a little bit better. That said, eating their signature soft serve is still a yawn-inducing experience. Nothing about it will impress you at all. Truth be told, their vanilla soft serve is best when paired with root beer, which is why you should always get A&W's famous float. The root beer float you can get from their drive-thru window is spectacular. When you visit Chick-fil-A, your expectations are through the roof. From their delicious chicken sandwiches to their breathtaking nuggets, it seems like everything on their menu is guaranteed to be fabulous. Unfortunately, the ice cream cone from Chick-fil-A doesn't quite live up to those lofty standards. Instead of this dessert blowing you away with yumminess, you'll find this treat to only be average. Compared to the aforementioned vanilla cone made by McDonald's, this dessert is certainly creamier. However, the cone is forgettable and tends to get soggy way too fast. You may even be tempted to throw the soggy cone in the trash rather than finishing it to the final bite. Interestingly, Chick-fil-A uses the term ice dream because they legally can't call it ice cream. For something to be marketed as ice cream, it has to meet specific standards set by the FDA. Tasty Freeze is a chain of fast food restaurants that deserves a round of applause for inventing soft serve ice cream back in 1950. There's a very real possibility that the first soft serve you ever tasted was at Tasty Freeze, as they had 1,800 locations at the peak of their popularity. Sadly, there are only a few locations left standing these days. While we should all be thankful that they introduced soft serve to the culinary world, it's not worth tracking down the closest Tasty Freeze. Their vanilla soft serve cone is an above average choice, but only slightly slightly. Ironically, it's their soft serve that holds them back. Compared to what the competition is making, Tasty Freeze is no longer anything special. Other fast food chains have not only caught up, they have passed them by. Even if you're drunk on nostalgia and you're convinced that a trip to Tasty Freeze should be on your bucket list, you'd be better off picking another fast food ice cream cone higher in this ranking. If you've done your research, you will be able to get a tasty ice cream cone at Andy's Frozen Custard. However, if you don't heed this advice, your dessert future could be doomed. At Andy's, you need to avoid their vanilla custard. When it's by itself in a cone, you'll be distracted by the slightly sour aftertaste of the vanilla custard. That odd aftertaste promises to ruin your sweet tooth stay. But on the other hand, the chocolate custard at Andy's is phenomenal. It has a deep, rich flavor that has just the perfect level of sweetness. Pick the chocolate custard cone and you'll feel like a genius. From burgers to chicken sandwiches and from hot dogs to their famous shakes, Shake Shack has numerous menu items that you deserve to try. But the next time you eat at this fast food chain, don't forget about their custard. It's fantastic, it's impossible to mess up, and whichever flavor tickles your fancy at the moment will be well worth your hard-earned cash. At Shake Shack, you can get cones filled with vanilla custard, chocolate custard, or the custard flavor of the month. To date, they've yet to unveil a flavor that is anything less than delicious. While ice cream cones are an afterthought for many fast food chains, cones were a part of Shake Shack's vision from the very beginning. When the business plan for the chain was written on a napkin, custard and cones were prominently listed. In the fast food industry, you can argue that no chain is hotter than Culver's. They're seemingly doing everything right no matter what they try. Culver's is the best chain restaurant of them all when it comes to burgers, and their onion rings are also the best you can find anywhere. That mastery extends to their desserts, particularly their slow-churned custard. When it comes to the quality of their custard, Culver's reigns supreme. It's so creamy and so flavorful that you'll love every lick. As far as their cones are concerned, you have two options. You can pick a regular cone, which they refer to as a cake cone. Alternatively, you can upgrade your dessert by opting for a waffle cone. That's an upgrade you should do each and every time, as their waffle cones are as good as what you'd find at Baskin-Robbins. When it comes to the flavor of the custard, you should pick vanilla at Culver's. Their vanilla is sourced from Madagascar, and the custard is made in the restaurant. Try it once, and your taste buds won't allow you to buy fast food custard from anywhere else. Jason's Deli is becoming a popular fast food destination in many nooks and crannies of the country. While their sandwiches, salads, and soups rightfully get a lot of attention, their desserts should also be recognized as one of the reasons why this chain is always busy with paying customers. On the dessert menu at Jason's Deli, you will find various goodies, including cookies, brownies, and cheesecake. But the item that will steal your heart and make you visit this chain again and again is the free ice cream cone. Yes, that's right, Jason's Deli doesn't charge you even a single penny for their ice cream cone. Every customer is given their choice of either vanilla, chocolate, or even swirled ice cream in a cone for free. Even leaving the price tag out of the equation, this dessert at Jason's Deli is really, really good. Add in the fact that there is no charge, and you'll love your ice cream cone even more.
If you want to lick something, lick us.
Outside of chocolate and vanilla, strawberry is one of the most popular flavors of ice cream in the United States. Tragically, it's difficult to find strawberry ice cream from drive-thru windows, specifically strawberry ice cream that comes in a cone. Thankfully, Rally's has come to the rescue. Their wicked strawberry cones are devilishly delectable and joyously unique. Although Rally's also has vanilla ice cream cones, you should stick to the strawberry version. The vanilla is great, but the strawberry is next-level delicious. The cones at Rally's are also extraordinary. They're crunchy, tasty, and surprisingly addictive. Combine the strawberry ice cream and the cone, and you'll soon be able to revel in dessert nirvana once it's tickling your tongue. If you've never heard of Rally's before, you may know this fast food chain as Checkers. The two brands have the same owners and even have the same menu. Don't worry, if you go to Checkers looking for the wicked strawberry cones, you'll find them. When it comes to ice cream cones, no other fast food eatery can compare. Others have offerings you will love, but Dairy Queen has ice cream cones you will fantasize about and obsess over. After your first encounter, you will count down the minutes until you can gleefully stuff your face once again. If you typically just pick a Blizzard when you go to Dairy Queen, you need to break that habit. These cones are so good that they deserve your undivided attention on your next visit. You can pick their vanilla cone, which is the best of its kind, but you need to strongly consider choosing either the Dreamsicle dipped cone or the chocolate dipped cone. While both of these are great, the chocolate dipped cone is nothing short of perfection. The hardened chocolate coating is oh so flavorful and flawlessly crunchy, and each mouthful of this dessert is euphoric. Order this sweet treat once and you'll never look at fast food ice cream cones the same way again. As you'll know, they are truly not created equal. What you find at Dairy Queen is undoubtedly the creme de la creme.
Ooh, hi, what's all this?
A cease and desist. Ice cream is our intellectual property.
All chocolate ice cream is pretty good, right? Maybe so, but if your preferred brand is at the bottom of this list, you may want to expand your horizons beyond pretty good. Store brand ice cream. There are some really great store brand chocolate ice creams out there, worthy of scooping into a crisp sugar cone or piling high with sundae toppings. Kroger Deluxe Chocolate Paradise is not one of them. Why does this affordable chocolate ice cream find itself at the tail end of our ranking? It's all about unnatural flavor. Cocoa doesn't show up on this ice cream's ingredient list until 5 ingredients in. The first several ingredients and predominant flavors are milk, cream, sugar, and corn syrup. It's an intensely sweet scoop with an artificial underlying flavor and very little real chocolate taste. Kroger's ice cream uses polysorbate 80, along with a host of other ingredients, as an emulsifier. According to Ice Cream Science, it's a highly effective emulsifier in ice cream, helping to create a smoother texture and prevent premature melting. Still, the overuse of polysorbate 80 can lead to an off-putting flavor in your ice cream when it's been stored for a while. You'd expect chocolate ice cream from a premium retailer like Whole Foods to rank high on the list. The general consensus for this flavor is that it's weak and lacks that rich chocolatey oomph we all crave from chocolate ice cream. It's a disappointing scoop and ultimately forgettable. Perhaps it's the organic dark chocolate base that fails to deliver. It's a combination of cane sugar, water, cocoa powder, natural flavor, citric acid, and salt. Natural flavors, like artificial flavors, are synthesized in a lab, then industrially manufactured at a production plant. The FDA doesn't require brands to print what's in their natural flavors on food labels unless they contain a common allergen, according to Bon Appetit. Interestingly, it's only the 365 Everyday Value chocolate ice cream that earns so much ire at Whole Foods. Their 365 by Whole Foods Market chocolate ice cream has a dedicated fan base. One reviewer on Amazon proclaimed, "I don't know what kind of chocolate they use, but this is one of the most delicious chocolate ice creams I have ever had. The chocolate flavor was rich and my kids adore it." So if you're craving chocolate ice cream at Whole Foods, skip the Everyday Value option and go for the 365 by Whole Foods Market line.
It tastes good when days are hot. On a cone or in a dish, this would be my only wish. Vanilla chocolate rocky road, even with pie a la mode.
A lighter option on this list, Halo Top is popular among people trying to make healthier choices. Sadly, it comes with some sacrifice. This chocolate ice cream just does not measure up to the classic sugar-laden varieties. Halo Top ice creams are known for their solid nutritional profile relative to traditional ice cream. You can enjoy a whole pint for only 280 to 380 calories, along with a healthy protein boost. The brand's chocolate pint clocks in at 300 calories and 19 grams of protein. While we can't knock those stats, this ice cream is, well, barely ice cream. It's icy, grainy, and totally lacks a robust chocolate flavor. If you're hoping to enjoy something smooth and creamy, this won't be it. One reviewer complained the texture is icy and watery. They explained on Halo Top's Chocolate Pint website that the ice cream is a sad excuse for ice cream. It isn't creamy. It doesn't have a ton of flavor. This is probably the blandest chocolate flavor of ice cream I've ever had. And they're super expensive for essentially frozen flavored water. If you're hoping to enjoy a healthier chocolate dessert, there's better out there. When we're talking about chocolate ice cream, the better varieties will boast richer chocolate flavor. Blue Bunny has more of a milk chocolate flavor, meaning it's heavy on the sugar and low on the actual chocolate. When we say heavy on the sugar, we mean a scoop of this ice cream will hit you with a saccharine punch. It's like candy. For that reason, children might love it, but if you're looking for real chocolate flavor, we'd head further down this list. It's fair to say you, like us, probably grew up enjoying Breyer's chocolate ice cream here and there. It's a perfectly acceptable scoop, but it's just that, acceptable. Breyers does boast a relatively simple ingredients list, with ingredients like milk, cream, sugar, Dutch cocoa, whey, and taro gum. It is infused with natural flavor. That's not to say Breyers is bad because it has natural flavors. It just tastes a bit more artificial than some of the top-ranking ice creams on this list. Some people also complain about Breyers chocolate ice cream texture, saying it doesn't freeze correctly and isn't a solid ice cream. One reviewer explained on the Breyers chocolate ice cream website, "I used to love this ice cream and the hard frozen texture, but the last 3 containers I have bought do not freeze. The texture is more like a whipped cream texture." Depending on where you live, you'll know this chocolate ice cream by the Edie's or Dreyer's name, which have been interchangeable since 1928. Whatever the name, it's a mediocre chocolate ice cream. It's the chocolate ice cream most likely to be served at kids' birthday parties and family gatherings, and we get it. It's sweet and creamy enough to qualify as ice cream. It's affordable. It's available on every grocery store freezer aisle. Nobody is going to be mad that they were served a scoop of Edie's Dreyer's chocolate ice cream alongside a sugary slice of birthday cake. They're just not likely to be very excited. Why? Edie's Dreyer's chocolate ice cream is overly sweet, with a passably creamy texture and very little complex chocolate flavor or characteristic bitterness. It might be a favorite among people with straightforward tastes, like kids and adults who enjoy milk chocolate over dark chocolate. While the Edie's Dreyer's chocolate ice cream website pulls mostly positive reviews, one reviewer did complain that the ice cream tastes artificial. They said, "It lacks the rich heaviness of real whole milk ice cream. The additives used for thickening melt into froth, and there is way too much sugar and not enough cocoa." This chocolate ice cream is strictly middle of the road, with a pleasantly sweet flavor but not much richness. It is nice that it's a straightforward flavor with minimal ingredients, if you're looking for that. As an all-natural offering, you'll find easy-to-pronounce ingredients like cream, sugar, cocoa, honey, unsweetened Belgian chocolate, and more. The problem with this ice cream lies in that it's reasonably tasty, but not good enough to usurp our top 5 contenders. One reviewer at Mass Live called the treat soft and creamy, although not as rich as some of the gourmet, high-end ice cream pints I've sampled. She rates it favorably, but does note that a more dense formula would be better. So if you happen to purchase Turkey Hill all-natural Belgian-style chocolate, will you be a sad camper? Probably not, but you won't be super impressed either. If you love the robust, slightly bitter flavor of dark chocolate, Trader Joe's Ultra Chocolate Ice Cream might be the one for you. It's the closest you can get to eating a dark chocolate bar in ice cream form. With so many unique creations on the freezer aisle of Trader Joe's, it's easy to look past the classic offerings. This chocolate ice cream is worth a buy, though, if you're at Trader Joe's and craving something simple and chocolatey. One reviewer at Freezer Meal Frenzy calls it, quote, astonishingly flavorful, with a rich, fudge-like profile. Trader Joe's recommends serving an indulgent scoop in a sweet sugar cone for textural contrast. If you'd like to jazz up your scoop, at Trader Joe's, look for the latest fun chocolate bar to crumble on top for extra richness, or pick up a carton of their shelf-stable whipping cream. Yeah, this chocolate ice cream goes incredibly well with some freshly made whipped cream. Haagen-Dazs offers the perfect little pint of chocolate ice cream when you're looking to indulge, with ice cream that's creamy and rich. That's because it's one of the few major ice cream brands to not use stabilizers like guar gum or xanthan gum. They only use eggs to stabilize their ice cream, creating a slow-melting ice cream with a silky mouthfeel. You can rest assured that a pint of Haagen-Dazs chocolate ice cream won't melt the moment your spoon makes contact. Eggs also help create a custard-like body in the ice cream, and they prolong its shelf life by inhibiting thawing and refreezing, according to Serious Eats. Haagen-Dazs chocolate ice cream only features 5 straightforward ingredients: cream, skim milk, cane sugar, cocoa, and egg yolks. You may associate Ben & Jerry's with all sorts of inventive flavors, but it turns out they do a simple chocolate ice cream really well. Still, their chocolate therapy pint does feature a few bells and whistles. It's a medley of classic chocolate ice cream, chocolate cookies, and chocolate pudding ice cream.
Okay, I think I know what would help right now.
What?
Frozen chocolate gelato!
As the name suggests, indulging in this seriously rich little pint of ice cream might just be as good as a therapy session. At least, it'll do in a pinch. We love how the dark chocolate flavor shines, with soft bits of chocolate cookie and pudding-based ice cream. We're not the only ones who love it. Some liken eating it to a sublime experience. One reviewer on the Ben & Jerry's website wrote, "I go through 3 to 4 pints of this a week and find myself moaning while eating it. It's a spiritual experience for me. My favorite part of the day is the chemical release in my brain I get from this ice cream. I could write poetry about chocolate therapy." Not convinced? Ben & Jerry's offers the most detailed breakdown of just how their pints of ice cream come to be. If you're someone who likes knowing everything about what you eat, like how Ben & Jerry's sources their dairy or how they get those delicious chunks evenly dispersed in their ice cream, we encourage you to check them out. Bluebell ice cream has a cult-like following in its home state of Texas, and people love the smooth flavor of their classic Dutch chocolate. Your familiarity with Bluebell will depend on where you live. It's only available in 22 states with its main fan base and headquarters found in Texas. The brand, which started in 1907, is named for the native Texas bluebell wildflower. What we're saying is, it's an iconic Texas brand through and through. Their Dutch chocolate ice cream is so beloved, it's been sent to space. According to USA Today, cups of Bluebell chocolate and vanilla ice cream were sent to astronauts at the International Space Station in 2006 to help out the crew's happiness quotient. A space shuttle had previously dropped off a freezer to the International Space Station to store research samples, but this also allowed ice cream to be enjoyed at the station for the first time ever. Bluebell's chocolate and vanilla ice cream made the trek in an insulated bag. It was a massive upgrade to the typical food served in space, pre-cooked and eaten from a pouch. We love that Bluebell's Dutch chocolate ice cream is made with rich imported chocolate. You can enjoy Bluebell Dutch chocolate ice cream in a full half-gallon or a pint if you're feeling virtuous. Tillamook chocolate ice cream takes the top spot on this list. This simple recipe is richly flavored with cocoa, but it's the high cream content that puts this grocery store ice cream brand at the top. If you've ever thought ice cream from this Pacific Northwest Dairy Co-op tastes extra creamy, you're not wrong. Tillamook ice cream is made with extra cream and less air than the industry standard for ice cream, creating a velvety mouthfeel that can't be beaten.
Well, I need more than chocolate. And for that matter, I need more than vanilla. I believe that we need freedom and choice when it comes to our ice cream.
Plus, Tillamook is committed to producing the high-quality milk at the base of their incredibly rich chocolate ice cream. They're a cooperative made up of about 80 farmer owners who care for their land and cows, so you reap delicious ice cream and cheese. Tillamook has great cheese in return. Tillamook's chocolate ice cream keeps it simple, with an ingredient profile that includes cream, milk, sugar, cocoa, and a handful of other easy-to-pronounce additions. One of those additions? Pasteurized egg yolks. This smart infusion makes for a custard-like base. Remember, this ice cream is really creamy. Tillamook chocolate ice cream is classic ice cream with classic, high-quality ingredients. We couldn't ask for more.
Disney magic makes its way to your freezer, while decadent ice cream targets adults. But not all frozen treats are created equal, and one even left us with a hankering for more peanut butter. Not to be confused with Blue Bunny, Blue Ribbon is, however, churned out by the same ice cream empire, Wells Enterprises. Other ice cream favorites, like Bob Pop and Halo Top, are also produced by the folks at Wells. However, the company reports its Blue Ribbon line is all about bringing classic ice cream treats to your freezer. We tried the family-oriented brand's take on a classic chocolate-coated vanilla ice cream on a stick, and were sorely disappointed. At around $7 for a pack of 20, Blue Ribbon Star Bars are definitely a bargain. However, when we unwrapped these bars, we could tell right away that the chocolate coating was thin. In fact, you could see the vanilla ice cream through it. Plus, the outside was already cracked before we even tasted it. As expected, when we took a bite, we found there was too little chocolate and too much low-quality ice cream. A good deal aside, in our opinion, Blue Ribbon Star Bars are has-beens. Enjoyed throughout history from Chinese emperors to all American kids in the 50s, ice cream and its historic forebears have always been high in calories and fat. These days, however, there are low-cal and low-fat versions for ice cream-loving health-conscious foodies. Breyers offers a range of lines, such as Better For You, which includes products with no added sugar, without lactose, and low in carbs. We opted for Breyers Carb Smart Vanilla Bar for our selection. At around $4 for a pack of 6, this Better For You take on vanilla ice cream coated with chocolate may be low carb, but it's also low flavor. Although the chocolate layer was slightly thicker than Blue Ribbon's, these ice cream bars still have such a thin coating that we were barely able to savor the flavors. After one bite, the top layer cracked to pieces. We also noted that the low-carb ice cream has a strange aftertaste. That being said, if you follow a low-carb diet and love ice cream bars, don't be discouraged. In 2022, Little Debbie came forward to announce it was launching an array of ice cream treats inspired by its famed snack cakes.
Like Little Debbie is it's like my childhood.
This year, it took on another section of the ice cream game by releasing Nutty Bars. Ringing in at around $5 for 4 bars, these Nutty Buddy-inspired ice cream treats feature crunchy pieces and peanut butter ice cream. This bar has a fairly solid coating that doesn't easily break and a decent quality vanilla cream base, but the peanut butter was so subtle we could barely taste it. And so we come to the first company to shove a hunk of ice cream on a stick.
Good humor. The name will take you back, the taste will take you away.
As expected, Good Humor has quite a few ice cream desserts in the freezer section, but its version of the strawberry shortcake ice cream bar is reportedly America's favorite. So it practically had a big sign on its box, asking to be tasted. Coming in at around $5 for 6 bars, these are made with sustainably sourced strawberries and milk free of growth hormones. The bars feature strawberry ice cream and a milky cake crumble coating. The second you tear open the red wrapper, you're hit with the smell of fresh strawberries. Unfortunately, when you take a bite, you will be quickly disappointed. Yes, the elements are all there: a creamy milk flavor, a cake crumb texture that doesn't fall apart, and a subtle taste of strawberries, with an emphasis on subtle. Good Humor's strawberry shortcake dessert bar doesn't commit to its strawberry flavor concept, so it falls near the bottom of our list. Before Little Debbie revealed its frozen treat news, Oreo also decided to launch a line of Oreo cookie-flavored ice cream. Its assortment of frozen treats featuring Oreo-loaded vanilla ice cream includes, of course, Oreo ice cream bars. For around $5 for a 5-count box, this ice cream dessert has an outer layer of chocolate covered in Oreo pieces. This is what we mean when we say a treat should commit to its concept. Firstly, the Oreo crumb outer layer is delectable, with a texture and flavor that reminds us of a dirt cake. The coating also melts perfectly into the bar's Oreo-infused ice cream. If you're worried that this bar is overwhelmed by Oreo flavor, you can rest easy, because the vanilla ice cream acts as a perfect buffer for the Oreo pieces inside and outside of this dessert. However, for all their merits, Oreo bars also come with some pretty cheap ice cream. On top of that, while tasty, their outer layer is still thin and breaks easily. While Bluebell is one of the best-selling ice cream brands in the US, it's understated in just about everything it does. The company only stocks its desserts in select grocery stores across the nation, and its packaging showcases farmers, construction workers, and coaches holding up the brand's frozen desserts with a smile. Out of the company's entire humble-looking ice cream bar selection, we tried the Crunch Bars. After tasting these treats, we decided that if Bluebell won't brag about itself, we will. First of all, let's talk about the price. A 12-count package of Bluebell Crunch Bars will only run you around $6. Even better, these bars featuring vanilla ice cream covered in chocolate and crisp rice coating are both low in cost and high in quality. While the coating runs on the thinner side, it holds up well and breaks minimally. Although it can't beat some thicker top coat competitors, Bluebell Crunch Bars are our top pick for ice cream lovers on a budget. Here it is, a keto ice cream bar that's worth spending your money on. Another brand under the Great Wells Company umbrella, Halo Top's Better For You ice cream is so good that its original pints earned the title of best-selling ice cream brand in 2017.
We think if you like ice cream that basically you'll like Halo Top too.
The company's keto peanut butter chocolate pops are just more proof that it is the king of light and low-carb ice cream. At around $5 for 4 bars, these treats taste like Reese's Cups in ice cream form. To ensure foodies get a delectable dose of peanut butter and chocolate in each bite, the company swirled fudge and pieces of peanut butter into the ice cream base. However, the major downfall of these keto-friendly bars lies in their coating. While the inside is delectable, the outer layer is thin and easily prone to breaking. Call us cynics, but the concept of dairy-free ice cream didn't sit well with us when we first encountered it. Thankfully, So Delicious Dairy-Free was here to prove us wrong. After trying the brand's dairy-free dipped mocha almond fudge bar, we are dairy-free ice cream believers. Featuring a rich chocolate coating, these fudge bars are positively decadent despite containing no cow milk whatsoever. When biting into one of these desserts, you'll enjoy some seriously full-bodied chocolate flavor. The ice cream is not only creamy, but it has an extra dimension of flavor because it's made of almond milk. This element plays on the almonds in the snack's exterior coating, which also gave the bar a nice crunch. At around $5 for a 4-count, this bar's weakness is the thinness of its coating. While the outside layer is thicker than some of the other options we ranked, it's still easily breakable and not nearly as solid as the next bars on our list. After years of gatekeeping its famous dessert recipes behind park doors, Disney brought its mouse-shaped ice cream bars to grocery stores across the nation in 2019. While the bars were supposed to be limited edition, they are still sold in the freezer section for around $8 for 6 bars. On that note, as we enter the category of higher-priced ice cream bars, we also enter the realm of higher quality eats. These Mickey-eared ice cream bars have a seriously thick chocolate coating that will knock your socks off. Wonderfully decadent, the chocolate is as plentiful as the ice cream in the bar at first. However, as you eat your way past the ears, you'll find the outer layer gets thinner and thinner. Also, the ice cream isn't as good as it gets. As the third most popular ice cream brand in America, Haagen-Dazs's sworn mission is to make the most delicious ice cream in the freezer aisle. In its efforts to achieve its flavorful goal, all of the company's frozen desserts are made with real cream, milk, eggs, and sugar.
If you want great ice cream, you can't hold back. At Haagen-Dazs, we search the world for the highest quality ingredients and expertly craft them with care.
But while Haagen-Dazs ice cream has a hold on the country's hearts and wallets, we endeavored to find out if its vanilla milk chocolate almond bars are just as good. At around $4 for 3 treats, these bars are not the cheapest. However, they are incredibly delectable. From top to bottom, the outer chocolate layer is thick and doesn't skimp on almonds, which gives the dessert an extra crunchy texture. Of course, the ice cream itself can't be beat in terms of quality. However, while Haagen-Dazs's frozen treats are very delicious, the chocolate isn't mind-blowing. Out of our top 4, these bars are the most breakable. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with the small fries in the dust and the runner-ups named, we have entered the ice cream bar big leagues. Earning the bronze medal, the Dove Bar Vanilla Ice Cream with Milk Chocolate Bar shines strong. Priced at around $5 per 3 bars. In our opinion, these ice cream treats are worth their weight in creamy gold. This product has the thickest, most decadent chocolate coating around. Each Dove bar is so thick, we'd argue that you're probably eating the equivalent of 2 chocolate bars sandwiched around a wedge of high-quality ice cream. Indulgent and the perfect mixture of chocolate and vanilla, Dove's take on the original chocolate-covered ice cream dessert is the best version of the treat you can hope to eat. Once, ice cream bars were thought of as a treat for sticky children to enjoy at the beach. But then Magnum came along and classified them as a premium treat made for adults with a craving for a high-quality dessert. We tried the double caramel ice cream bars to find out for ourselves. Magnum, a brand with the motto "More is more," showed that its double caramel ice cream bars are everything those half-baked ice cream bars wish they could be, and more. At around $6 for a 6-count, every flavor is present and plentiful. Behind a thick, hearty layer of quality chocolate is a delicious layer of caramel that melds into the creamy vanilla ice cream like a dream. To top it off, although the bar is thick with chocolate, it doesn't start cracking until the end. Plus, the amount of caramel stays consistent throughout your savoring experience. For such a high-quality ice cream bar loaded with caramel, Magnum Double Caramel Bars could only be beat out by another very special ice cream bar. Biscoff has mastered the art of being low-key but tasty. The Belgian cookie is credited as being popularized in the US by Delta Airlines, and the beloved airplane snack is known for its distinctive just sweet enough flavor. When we bought a box of Biscoff ice cream bars, we weren't sure what we were in for, but these blew our minds. At around $4 for 3 units, these bars are filled with a quality ice cream and a multitude of tasty flavors. Firstly, each treat features delectable vanilla ice cream filled with bits of Biscoff, dipped in a thick, solid chocolate coating, dusted in pieces of the same iconic cookie. But what really sets these ice cream bars apart is the Belgium chocolate and cookie butter layered between the chocolate coating and vanilla cream base. For its quality and otherworldly taste, Biscoff is officially the best ice cream bar in the grocery aisle.
If you reach back far enough in your core memories, you probably already know why soft serve is so delicious. But there's also some surefire science behind it as well. Soft serve's superior, airy contrast to regular ice cream may very well be its most signature quality. And this doesn't just happen by chance. The reason for this signature consistency has to do with the additional overrun incorporated into soft serve during the freezing process. In case you're unfamiliar, overrun is the term used to describe how much air is actually included in ice cream. Even the hard-packed version includes a fair amount of overrun, as otherwise it would be as dense as a brick. Furthermore, adding air to ice cream appears to significantly increase the total amount produced, resulting in a greater overall output, which means more frozen dessert to eat and enjoy. While regular ice cream may have around 35% overrun, soft serve tends to contain between 50 and 60%. Unsurprisingly, that additional air makes an enormous difference when it comes to soft serve's cloud-like appearance, as well as its iconic mouthfeel. Some individuals may actually be immune to the devastating agony known as brain freeze. Unfortunately, the rest of us have to take our time when stuffing ourselves with our favorite frozen treats. With that in mind, one of the more appealing aspects of soft serve is that it's literally warmer than regular ice cream, and therefore less likely to induce an ice cream headache. Considering that soft serve is still a frozen treat, we don't mean to imply that it's produced at a drastically higher temperature than regular ice cream. Nobody's ordering a chocolate vanilla soft serve soup after all, although that does kind of sound delicious. Hard ice cream is generally stored at about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, while soft serve tends to be kept and served at around 21 degrees Fahrenheit. That difference might seem negligible, but that extra 10 degrees or so is enough to make soft serve less punishing on the palate upon ingestion. Another part of what makes soft serve taste so good is that it evokes the experience of eating melted ice cream. Now, if you're skeptical about how this quality could possibly work in soft serve's favor, consider that meltier ice cream actually does taste better on your tongue than colder varieties. This is sort of easy to understand since the warmer temperature ensures that your taste buds remain active rather than be dulled by the cold. Beyond any scientific explanation, there's also the potential origin story of soft serve to keep in mind. As the legend goes, in 1934, Tom Carvel was forced to sell a batch of partially melted product as a supposed soft ice cream after a truck mishap. Customers were over the moon for this new soft style, which then led to soft serve's official creation. It might sound unbelievable, but melted ice cream was indeed the apparent inspiration for soft serve's very existence.
Who wants melted ice cream?
If we asked you to name what's in ice cream, we'd be willing to bet that two items would spring to mind right away: cream and sugar. Of course, even a high-quality version of ice cream contains more than that, and soft serve is no different. As it turns out, the number of food additives commonly found in soft serve appears largely responsible for its almost staggeringly consistent perfection. Now, we can't say whether every single solitary soft serve recipe utilizes the same common ingredients. Nevertheless, it's obvious that soft serve's smooth, velvety texture is generally enhanced by the likes of cellulose gum. Furthermore, it remains fully blended and emulsified thanks in part to the inclusion of glycerides from fatty acids. The bottom line is that you can't dismiss the impact of numerous food additives and preservatives when discussing what really makes soft serve taste so delicious. By now, it should be clear that any and all varieties of ice cream include a substantial percentage of air known as overrun, and that soft serve contains more of it than hard varieties do. With that in mind, it's fairly obvious what really makes soft serve taste so good. Indeed, it's quite literally lighter tasting, because it is in fact lighter in terms of both mass and density.
I'm your density.
With this surplus of air, soft serve is less likely to sink into your stomach like an anchor. And more air in the final product means that there's less room for sugar or fat in soft serve and less chance that those unhealthy substances will wreak nutritional or digestive havoc. Since the airy and fluffy texture of soft serve is also noticeable in your mouth and on your tongue, it's clear that its lighter overall composition plays a crucial hand in its deliciousness. There are numerous flavors and varieties of ice cream on the market and seemingly just as many ways to order and consume it. From sundaes to banana splits to milkshakes, the breadth of choices can make your head spin like a possessed teenage girl. When considering all that, part of what makes soft serve so great is its generally simplified selection process, with the menu often consisting of just chocolate, vanilla, and the classic swirl. Perhaps this aspect of soft serve is appealing because it harkens back to a time before consumers were faced with virtually unlimited options in nearly every facet of life. This might be the definition of a first world problem, that it's nice to give your mental muscles a break by simplifying certain decisions. And since soft serve provides a much easier serving process for restaurants, it's not only easier to decide what to order, it will also typically arrive faster than regular ice cream as well. There's something special about getting in your car and going out to your favorite eatery. Food often just tastes better at a restaurant. So it's a big point in soft serve's favor that it's generally only available outside the home. It isn't usually packaged and sold in pints or quarts like other ice cream varieties, as that simply can't be done without sacrificing its signature feathery texture. Since we've been conditioned to expect a very specific consistency from soft serve, its distinction as a dine-out only option makes it seem more enticing than it might otherwise be. If you've ever wondered why grocery store freezer aisles don't include soft serve, it's clearly not for a lack of demand. Rather, the reason it remains relegated to restaurants and ice cream stands is because its slightly warmer temperature and uniquely fluffy yet creamy quality can't be maintained in a home freezer. Considering all of this, plenty of people may also associate soft serve with memorable social outings. And seeing how social get-togethers like eating out are known to increase individuals' feelings of happiness, it only serves to boost soft serve status among sweet treats. It's a well-established fact that we don't just eat with our mouth. Our olfactory system, aka our sense of smell, also plays an important part in our ability to enjoy basically any food. And so does our visual system. In fact, if a food item looks like a certain smiling brown emoji, then you are unlikely to derive as much satisfaction from it as you could with something that dazzles your eyes.
Meat poop. It's showtime.
And what's more visually appealing than the classic soft serve swirl? Simply put, a perfectly poured chocolate vanilla swirl, also known as a twist, in a cone or a cup, is pretty much music for the eyes. The utter simplicity of the classic swirl's presentation and delectable flavor profile undoubtedly works in its favor. Whether it's crafted by a bored teenager working over summer break or a cutting-edge robot specifically designed to create impeccable swirls, it's tough to beat the aesthetic wonder or taste of chocolate spun together with vanilla. Sometimes less is truly more. It's probably not too hard to accept that soft serve tastes great because it's a miracle of modern science. There's a reason why other ice cream varieties predate soft serve by centuries, after all. With that in mind, it's worth mentioning that one of the most incredible ways to present and consume soft serve is with a dipped cone, like the well-known line of that variety sold by Dairy Queen. DQ's classic chocolate-dipped cone features a crunchy outer layer akin to what you would get with a magic shell. This means that there's nothing stopping someone from taking a regular ice cream cone made with a traditional hand-scooped product and dousing it or dunking it in a similar coating. But can a cone made with uneven, misshapen scoops of hard ice cream match the incomparable aesthetics of a dipped cone prepared with a beautifully hand-spun serving of soft serve? The answer, of course, is not even close. Just like soft serve itself, the dipped cone represents a fun variation on the typical consumption of ice cream and also provides a nice textural contrast to the air-made fluffiness. It should come as no surprise that soft serve tastes so good in part because it's often enjoyed with friends and family. After all, we've already established how the difficulties with maintaining its quality and consistency in a standard freezer make it ripe for shared enjoyment outside the home. But whether it's shared memories of consuming cones at a fast food joint, a local fair, or really any other location, the fact that it tends to conjure thoughts of social outings elevates its status among many modern desserts. Socializing in general tends to increase people's overall satisfaction in life, so the inherent connection between soft serve and social gatherings may be just as crucial to its overall popularity as its taste and texture are. However, we should be careful not to go too far. Soft serve wouldn't exist at all without its unbelievably glorious flavor profile, so declaring that the social component is equally important might be just a bit too much. Still, there's no denying the fact that every bite can remind you of joyous occasions with loved ones is a notch in soft serve's favor.
What if we always said is the most important thing?
Breakfast.
Family.
It probably goes without saying that no form of frozen ice cream or ice cream adjacent treat is the healthiest food on the market. Even the most reasonable dessert should be consumed in moderation. Still, when comparing regular hard ice cream to soft serve, there's no mistaking that the warmer, fluffier version wins out when it comes to nutritional impact. The additional air contained in soft serve is critical to explaining this, and it's fairly easy to see why. After all, the extra overrun incorporated in soft serve leaves less room for other components like sugar and fat, thus resulting in a treat that's lighter in more ways than one. In short, it may not be exactly accurate to describe soft serve as a healthy alternative to other types of ice cream, or as a healthy alternative to anything. But to instead say that it's slightly healthier is entirely fair, which we imagine adds plenty of smiles to plenty of faces. If you name any fast food chain off the top of your head, there's a decent chance that it offers some variety of frozen dessert on its menu. Considering the logistical challenges posed by serving hard ice cream and its propensity to gum up the works inside a kitchen by increasing prep time, it's no wonder then that so many establishments choose instead to sell machine-poured soft serve. If you're curious how soft serve's wide availability at fast food joints around the country can make it taste so good, consider its often affordable price tag at these locations. If you love a bargain, then the general cost-effectiveness of fast food soft serve should be a surefire formula for delivering a smile to your face. Additionally, the relatively ubiquitous nature of fast food means that soft serve isn't particularly difficult to obtain. So, if you have anything resembling a sweet tooth, then you surely can easily appreciate the ability to easily grab a cone from a nearby spot whenever the mood strikes.